Juggalos in recovery. Juggalos in recovery. Juggalos in recovery.
So yeah, this is the Wednesday night meeting of Juggalos in Recovery, and today we're going to talk about it's called How to Escape the Hedonic Treadmill, and basically be happier, is the title. So I'll just read for like 10 minutes and then we'll talk about it and see how far I get in the reading, and I can always extend it to uh, the next meeting if I need to. But starts out, be honest, how long does a new coat, handbag, car, or promotion or success at work make you feel genuinely happy? If these objects or events have a long-term effect on your well-being or happiness, would be constantly compounding, and our baseline happiness levels would steadily increase, right? Sadly, that's not the case. In our pursuit of happiness, we often find ourselves caught in a cycle known as the hedonic treadmill. This phenomenon, also known as hedonic adaptation, suggests that despite experiencing positive events or acquiring desirable possessions, our happiness levels tend to return to a stable baseline over time. Is our individual happiness level fixed? Then, no matter what we do, buy, or achieve, for many of us, this is deeply an uncomfortable thought. Or could it be possible to escape the hedonic treadmill and increase your happiness and well being over time? And then it goes into some different examples. But what I've like discovered in my journey is like I've reached these like milestones in my sobriety where I was um completely like what they called like the pink cloud, and in recovery, you reached a certain point where you're sober for 6 months or whatever, and your happiness level is peaked out. And then you like level out again, right? So you reach this happiness level that you haven't felt in a really long time, and then you just level out again and you're back down. Mine was like a roller coaster where I was, you know, miserable because I was trying to get sober, and then I was like on that pink cloud for a while, then kind of miserable again, and then I would like reach some sort of milestone in my exercise and diet, and like when I beat diabetes was a huge pink cloud for me. When I lost 60 pounds, like it never really leveled back out to where I was before, but like my baseline was a lot higher, so I wasn't as miserable to where I was gonna start drinking again or start using again or whatever. But I was back down to this like miserable state again. So that's kind of the treadmill it's talking about. Or I would, if it was me, I would call it the hedonic roller coaster because that's what it feels like. But it says here, empirical evidence suggests that we have a tendency to adapt to both positive and negative life events. So kind of, I guess the other way, that's treadmill, if it's slowed down and you had a negative event, you're going to be in this miserable place, and then you come back up to happiness, which is probably lower than you were before. But anyway, um, often this results in return to our pre-existing level of happiness, known as our happiness set point. Um, let's see. There was they determined this like treadmill thing in 1971 in a book called Hedonic Relativism and Planning the Good Society. Um, anyway, they did a lot of studies in 1971. It relied on stimulus psychology and models of people's habituation. According to their findings, we as humans generally experience short term spikes in happiness followed by positive events, such as winning the lottery. I'm going to throw in getting sober, things like that. Eventually, however, our subjects of well being return to the pre event state baseline. So it might not be any lower, but it might not be any higher than it was. And it goes into talking about, imagine buying a car, and then over time the novelty wears off, and um, you have the early days of ownership when you buy a new car. Like it's real like shiny and smells good, and you have that. Uh, but again, you just return back down. Same thing with lottery winners. Let's see. If we are exposed to the same stimuli over time, the quality of our experience and our response to these stimuli change. So it goes into talking about, if you get like several new cars, right, by the time you get the fifth new car, right, in a row or whatever, your happiness level is definitely changed from the first time that you got it. So there are specific factors that influence the duration and scale of adaptation. The impact of life events on adaptation varies depending on the intensity, novelty, and duration. Um, Research has highlighted the role of individual differences in predispositions and environmental factors in shaping the adaptation. Um, Problems with common conceptions of the adaptation in their thought-provoking paper says a couple different things. They argue that the notion of stimulus used in their studies, they go into this study theory about it. Let's see. And it talks about genetic predispositions. So their studies acknowledge that genetics play a role in determining our baseline level of happiness. Some of us are naturally possess a more positive disposition, less prone to the adaptation. So, in other words, some people are just more happy and more positive genetically. I think I have the opposite of that genetically, unfortunately. And then intentional activities, the importance of some of the activities to prevent or slow down the adaptation proposed that activities such as expressing gratitude, practicing kindness and setting and pursuing meaningful goals can lead to sustained increase in happiness. And it talks about using those activities to kind of reset your happiness set point. So if you're being grateful and you're more positive and things like that, your happiness point's going to change. There's circumstantial factors that can influence our happiness. The factors include life events, environmental conditions, and social relationships. While our circumstances may be beyond our control, this model suggests that we actively seek to shape our circumstances to prevent the adaptation. Um, Cultivating gratitude for the positive aspects in our life, perhaps the most powerful antidote to this adaptation. So we've talked about it in the meetings over all of these months that, being more grateful and, positive in your life is just it brings you out of those negative states. And what it's saying here is that it'll reset that that set point so you don't go back to like the depressed, sad person that you might have been like pre um, pre let's say addiction or pre whatever. So your happiness is going to go up and you're not going to hit those low points like you used to, is basically what it's saying. Let's see. Can the happiness set point be changed? Yeah, we've just talked about that. So it can be changed by different events in the way that you kind of adjust your life. Um, Studies have shown a remarkable degree of stability and happiness set points over time. Um, Emphasizing the strong persistence of individual differences in happiness levels. Happiness is found to be quite stable across time, with individual differences in happiness having a strong persistence. Despite significant life events, it looks as though we revert to our pre-existing level, um, but it may vary amongst individuals depending on, your genetic factors and things like that. Um, and then how to escape this treadmill so you don't always going back to being negative and then being overly positive and things like that. I mean, a lot of this is all the stuff we've been talking about. To escape it, practice gratitude, cultivate a sense of gratitude. Has been linked to increased happiness and satisfaction. Take time each day to reflect on things you're grateful for. Um, I can't tell you how many times I've been just in my shit and I've had to like sit back and realize like what I'm grateful for. Like I've been doing this job search and I've gotten turned down and shit on. It feels like um, I did a job interview and it was a complete AI freaking robot interviewing me. Um, I did not get that job. It was fucking weird. Anyway, so practicing gratitude was the only way I was able to pull out of that. It's like, well, yeah, I got turned down by that job, but I still have this job. It's just not as good as I want it to be, but I still have it. It makes me money and, gives me the life that I need to have. The other thing it talks about is fostering meaningful relationships. So just like we're doing here in Juggalos and Recovery as a Juggalo community or Jeff Hunters or whatever, you want to have these relationships with family and friends and some sort of community because it does have an impact on your happiness. For a minute there, I was, steering away from everybody, just trying to do my own thing. And it didn't go as good as you think it would. Um, so engaging in acts of kindness, performing acts of kindness not only benefits others, but also enhances your own happiness. Um, I call it, ninja level of acts of kindness. So like if you can do something super nice for somebody and not tell anybody and just do it because you genuinely want to be a nice person and help somebody, you're a ninja in that skill because you're doing it and nobody knows. I think that's super important. Um, whatever that may be, do something kind for somebody else and try not to tell anybody and see how that feels. Feels pretty good. Um, Practicing mindfulness and self-care, we've talked about that. Exercising, uh, meditation, gratitude is sort of a form of that where you sit down and you just think about certain things. It's self-care, it's mindfulness. Um, we did a mindfulness game at the gathering where you look at a color in the room, like the color white, blue, or gray, or whatever, and you just think about it and how it makes you feel and what you think about, excuse me, when you see that color. Um, Super good way to get out of your own head is just getting out and doing something else. Growing and learning, setting goals, pursuing activities that align with your values. And we're going to talk about another thing next week, and I got to pull up the name again. Next week's going to be the Massagy Challenge. Um, it basically talks about challenging yourself to pursue a goal and grow. So that's going to be next week. But limiting materialistic pursuits, getting that new shirt and stuff might make you feel good, but um, is it really going to keep you happy? And if you get a new shirt and you fuck it up, that's going to make you sad. So limit your materialistic pursuits. Um, Mindful enjoyment. So mindfulness, it just goes back to like enjoying what's around you. But mindful enjoyment could be just being totally immersed in what you're doing. So like if you're making coffee, for example, just like enjoy the smell of the coffee, enjoy the process of it. Um, as you're making it so you can fully enjoy that particular moment. Let's see. There's some book references in here, the true meaning of hedonism. Um,
Veganism.
there's different books that I can like pop in the chat if you guys want. Um, but here's kind of their last little message. It's we can be happier over the long term, while the metaphor of the hedonic treadmill and the concepts um, of fixed set points may initially appear discouraging. Recent research has shown that it's possible to escape And I've seen it when people come out of, their addiction and into recovery and they actually practice a lot of these things. They might not be happy completely all the time, but um, their happiness level is insane. And the thing that I would kind of like reference this to or like compare it to is like a dog, right? Like your dog is fully in the moment all the time. Like when you come home, even if it's like 5 minutes later, that dog is like incredibly like insane to see you. It's like the first time it's seen you in like a week. That level of happiness is like where I want to be in my life, where like shit just makes me, fucking happy. And there's no like, that's where I want to be. I mean, it's not realistic, completely, but just to be happy to see the people I love and to do the things I love and to not be so like doomsday, like what the fuck is the point of all this? Like what am I doing? That's like my goal. That's where I want to be. That's kind of what this hedonic treadmill talks about is like the dogs are like your dog is not on that treadmill. Like I don't think they ever experience that. They might get sad for a minute, but then they're back to like their extreme happiness. There's no like real like treadmill action going on. So with that, I will shut up and allow you guys to share. So if you feel like sharing, it's your meeting. If you got some shit to say, let's go. Anybody got anything?
This is
Oh, good news. Oh, go for it, Enzo.
yeah, so like through my meditative practices, one of the core teachings is that everything is change. Good emotions, bad emotions, nothing will last forever. So that was like one positive thing that happened for me in my practice is that when good things happen, I appreciate them for what they are, but I don't like cling to them. And same thing with like when negative things happen, it's like, man, this fucking sucks, but it's not going to be like this forever. So I feel like I kind of escaped that treadmill a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like the gratitude and mindfulness is like killer. And just like with the goal setting, a practice that I do is like, I think it's called like progressive goal setting. It's like setting a goal that is slightly hard to accomplish, but doable. And it keeps me engaged and like it's challenging. And I've discovered that challenge of like trying to overcome helps me like stay focused. Because if it's too easy, it's just like, yeah, whatever. Even if it's too hard, it's like, fuck all this. So it's like finding that sweet spot. And then, yeah, like changing the whole mindset of like viewing things as like a learning experience as well. Even when negative things happen, it's like, okay, this fucking sucks, but like, what can I learn from this? And that's like a way for me to like, I don't really call it happiness, but I call it like peace or equanimity. I just feel like very baseline and calm. I'm much more calmer than I used to be. So that's like a win for me. And when I think about like how I am now compared to my past, that makes me happy. And then it just kind of floats away. And it's like, yep, back to whatever I'm doing.
Right.
But yeah, very great topic. And thank you for sharing that. And with that, I'm complete. Whoop, whoop.
Nope. Thanks, Enzo. Yeah, next week we're going to talk about what they call the Misogy challenge, and we're going to go into that. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but it's talking about setting like a kind of an insane goal for yourself over the next period of time. Supposed to help boost productivity and mental awareness and things like that. So hopefully it's cool. We'll see. Anybody else got some shit they want to say?
Petey, woo woo.
Yeah, whoop whoop.
Damn, dude, it's ironic that this topic is being discussed because I live in a transitional housing, and every night we do gratitude, what we're grateful for that day or whatever. But it's every day, Monday through Friday. So for the past 9 months, I've been practicing gratitude diligently, and I've actually seen like the fruits of the fruition of the labor of doing that, you know. And it's 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 like a balancing act of contentment, you know, where you have a high point, then you're like, okay, I got this accomplished, great. And it's like, okay, well now it's just another day at the office, you know. And then you have a low point, but then it's how you come back from that low point to get to a steady baseline again is how we live sometimes. And it's basically another the yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. And it's just a great topic. It was just really good thing, stuck out to me a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I've done that, or you know, I've seen those things through sobriety. Like I have 2 years, so
Nice.
it's definitely I've had my fill of the hydraulic treadmill there, and practice gratitude and the massaging. What you call it? The massaging what?
It's gonna be called the Masaji Challenge, where you
Yes,
challenge
yes,
yourself
yeah,
to do something crazy and not crazy, but like something hard.
yeah,
I would say like even just getting sober is like would fall into that challenge because any of us that have some sobriety behind us, it's probably one of the hardest things we had to do. Um,
yeah, definitely,
yeah, a-
definitely. Um,
absolutely.
I'm also blind too, so that's sort of like the massage challenge, you know, navigate the world blind and also be in recovery makes it like just a feat in itself that I do it, you know.
Right. Yeah, and you
But
could you could dwell on the negative stuff all day, which just brings you down, right? Like, but if you're
but
thinking
why?
about
But why? You know what I mean? Like
yeah, exactly.
why should I waste my energy into that? You know, I'd
Right.
rather put my energy into something prosperous, meaningful, and productive. You know, and see the fruit of my labor and be able to help others that have helped me and return the favor, pay it forward. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's I think what this whole program's about, dude, is being able to pay it forward in some way, shape, or form to
Step
others
12.
without losing yourself in the process, you know.
Right. Yep.
And that's all I got. I'll just be quiet because I don't know how to mute my mic. I'm just gonna go find my mommy roommate. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna go bug
Thank
Mike. Woo guys, and
whoop
I'll talk to
whoop.
you guys afterwards.
Yep. Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
29th, I'm gonna do the speaker meeting on Sunday.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
So look out for that. And then yo Nate, if you could send me like the send me a link to this if we can share this, if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right.
if you're doing it with D the 29th, I think that's with D on Sunday. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. He'll do an advertisement. He'll share it out. You know what I mean? Hopefully we'll get a good I'll do my best to be there. Sundays are a little tough, but
Yeah. All
I'll
right.
definitely
Well, let me
try to
know.
be
But
there.
yeah,
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 for
and I
sure.
appreciate you letting me join the meeting and let me record me and hope it hits someone that that's out there and needs our help. You know.
Oh yeah. Sweet. Scarecrow, what's up, dude? I saw you join us. That's awesome, man. It's been a while.
Sup, Skeiko? I'm out.
Yeah,
You
doing
doing
all right.
good?
That chick I was talking to came by to the park and came and found me the other day, let me know she was still thinking about me, which is pretty cool because I thought the voices in my head had convinced her I was some kind of monster and was on this whole fucking kick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and my favorite game system growing up and still today would be a Nintendo 64. And one of my favorite games, I was just thinking about trying to get an emulator so I could play it. It's Pokemon Snap. And I was looking online for a Pokemon game, like just the regular, what the new one is for the Nintendo Switch. And they had a remake of fucking Pokemon Snap. So there's a brand new Pokemon Snap fucking game that they made. I got that on the way in the mail. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, it was like my favorite game growing up. Was the first one for the Nintendo 64. Now they made a remake for the Switch.
Right on.
Yeah,
Oh
so I'm
yeah.
stoked on that. And that chick coming back and letting me know I was still in her thoughts. That was fucking pretty cool. I was getting depressed over that.
Yeah, man, human connection, man. You need that, especially when you live in the sticks like you do and like I do. Like getting that human connection, people that actually like care about you and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like that's dope.
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah.
Was anybody got anything else to share on this particular topic at all?
I think I
Or
missed all
anything? Yeah, you're good. It's just, basically was talking about like this happiness, like set point that people have and how like you'll get a new car and you're super happy for like a minute and then that wears off and then you're back down to like your low point, and like that happens in sobriety too. Like you get sober and you're like, oh, this is amazing. You're on this pink cloud and then you come down again and like it's kind of like getting out of that by practicing gratitude and all that shit. So it's
that.
yeah.
I'll share.
Yeah, go for
What up, y'all? Oh, sorry. I'm listening. I just moved the whole fucking couch.
it.
I had to take the fucking legs off because it wouldn't fit through the door. Oh, but I was listening. So, all right. So, yes, you're talking about like that pink cloud, and you know what I mean. Those high moments, especially in like early sobriety. You know what I mean. And it's almost like you're at borderline like complacency because it's like almost it's like you're between pride and ego. Proud of yourself, but then being too full of yourself. You know what I mean. And then because what they told me very early on when I went to meetings and stuff, for the first time, like for the pink cloud, make sure you have a pink parachute when you fall in that pink coffin because it's a roller coaster of emotions. You know what I mean? And from like from like a different like a educational perspective, they call it the post acute withdrawal symptoms, the pause. So up to 2 years, I could still be sober. You know what I mean? Up to 2 years, still like battling with mood swings and just, you know what I mean? But what's important is like what was talked about, like those moments, the people you meet, the situations that happen, you know what I mean? And like cherishing those moments and those people that you meet, like for me, for example, it's like Juggalos of Recovery gave me a place to come because I felt so outcasted. And then through being here, I met, all you amazing people. And I also met my future wife, you know what I'm saying? And then other things are happening. And then it's just like I think about like when I get upset or situations happen in life that I don't agree with. And it's like I also got to like kind of be in that moment and challenge my thoughts and my feelings because it's like I'm bouncing back and forth between like it's like Pong on expert level, but I'm battling between like being like accomplished, proud, and hopeful of the future instead of being pessimistic and beating myself up because I did enough of that when I was out there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just, most importantly, it's about communicating those feelings, getting them out. Like earlier, like I said, I drink mad coffee. I'm still obviously I just moved the whole couch. but it's just about the balance, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all I got to share for now. I love you
Yeah.
all. Found
You
love.
too,
Whoop,
brother.
whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop.
Only a couple of you left that probably should share, but if you don't want to share, that's cool too. Any thoughts around any of that?
I'm lost around it. I'm listening, but I'm not here. I want the year to be over. So that's why I'm quiet. I would say it was an interesting topic and like I read it to Petey because I'm trying to read him all the things for Juggalos and recovery since he can't see which is very confusing in itself. So he actually started going on the rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to talk to his phone to figure out what you were even saying that you were doing for a topic. Which trying to translate how he's doing that and help him figure out the phone. It's yeah. And then I got Red Bull for dealing with helping him help someone else. slash get him home, then get myself back home and not get hit by a car.
Right. Well, what you're doing though is helping, a fellow person in need, and that's awesome. Like, you know,
Yeah, but I'm also helping him. Like, he actually brought someone new to a meeting or to show around the area today, and he got lost. So he called me, and I had to help him remember which way he was going because he was trying to not only navigate the area, but navigate another person that he didn't know that well. So it threw him off because usually he can have someone have their hand on his shoulder and he can describe where he is, but certain people won't listen to him or listen to the music to figure out where he's trying to go.
right.
But it was even worse, say, because the other person, yeah, it's like I don't know how to deal with all the dudes because they're, yeah, it's gotten interesting.
But it sounds like overall you've been doing better this year, right? Even though you want it to be over, seem to be doing okay,
The
right?
I'm doing better because I have more freaking sober friends and people I can go to. But it's bad because now I have more people that can pick on me in person, like all the guys in Juggalos and recovery have done and everything else. But now they're doing it literally at the bus stop and it's not on Zoom or on meetings. No, it's in person right there.
That's the best kind of love, real life uh, roasting. Uh, I think that's dope. I really do.
Speaking of roasting, Josie, did you ever find your glasses?
Oh, and so here's the worst part about the glasses thing. And I'd say, how come a blind guy has helped me organize my apartment? Like, and we found other things I was looking for that were missing that I needed. My glasses were under my snow pants by my shoe, and no one had looked at those all day. He came over and then he called people that could see that I know to come help me find my glasses or talk to me so I could calm down and find them. They were under my snow pants, and it got too warm, so I didn't need my snow pants anymore.
Yeah, I
So,
give to Lucky all the time when she never puts her glasses in her glasses case because she'll like
I
drop.
can't find my glasses case.
Oh, I'm roasting her all the fucking time. Like in the beginning, I bought her one of those like old lady like chain bands or whatever. She like barely used it and like still okay, yeah, she got all right, fair enough. But yeah,
Am I the only one that keeps hearing over and over, my glasses, jinkies? Every
my
time you guys say
glasses.
I don't know. Also wanted to say too, because you touched on it too when you were in the meeting, about doing something good for somebody without telling anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's integrity. You know what I'm saying? So it's doing the right thing when nobody's looking. You know what I mean? And absolutely, because it is rewarding all on its own, and it's like you do it without any ulterior motive, but ultimately there is one ulterior motive, and that is to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Have good karma, do unto people that you would want done to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
absolutely, I just want to agree with you on that.
Yeah, there was a point where I was doing all this shit, and I started questioning, like, well, why am I doing this? Like, am I doing it to like, to get people to like me? Am I doing it to like get like clout? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing, and why am I doing it? And I started asking myself, and it was like because it helps another person and it makes me feel good inside. That's all that matters. Like all the other shit is just like if people find out, it's a bonus. So, um,
Absolutely, it's
yeah,
about getting outside of yourself. You know what I mean? Just because it's also why, like you said, like you're conflicted, just because at least for me, I'll keep it on myself. Like I was so used to living a certain way and doing things a certain way. So then it's like once I finally put away childish things that were killing me, you know what I mean? Start trying to act like the person I was supposed to be rather than the person that I fucking temporarily became. It's just,
right, yeah,
just just, you know what I mean? Living the way you, I don't want to say should because nobody's normal, finger quote, you know what I mean? But it's just, you're doing what you wouldn't normally do in that lifestyle that was killing us. And that's why it's conflicted because it's foreign. I don't understand these behaviors. I don't understand treating people with respect. I don't understand like listening. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand communication, none of that. You know what I mean? Because it's just how what we were around, what we were immersed in. So,
Right.
it's fun because like me and Cassie would be talking, like I'll be stressed out or whatever. She'd be like, now do your breathing like Enzo. Cause like Enzo, Enzo is like somebody like that we all like, he's an example, you know what I'm saying? And like, not trying to give you clout, Enzo. I'm just giving you props because you walk the walk. And I'm not saying we all do, but it's just when it comes to mind, somebody on that level of like meditation, just complete like calm tone. You know what I mean? It's you, homie. You know what I'm saying? And it's just good to have people like that I can think of right off the top of the head, or that we know off the top of the head. And it's the strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, I'm gonna stop rambling now because I feel like the caffeine's starting to take over and my mouth's just going. My
No, you're good, man.
glasses.
My glasses.
My glasses.
Oh, damn, Grizz, you made me all smart. You made the brown man blush.
That's
It,
awesome.
they like to say, if you spot it, you got it. So anything that you might see in me is just a reflection of yourself. So if you see something good in me, it's just something you see in yourself. So
See, there goes a fucking crazy ninja philosophy.
They
Thank you,
also
homie.
say
I
the
appreciate
other side too. Like if you're hating on somebody, it's because you see like you're like either jealous or you have that like particular like flaw yourself, so you're pointing it out in others.
I've heard that. Yeah, like you see a part of yourself that you despise or that you don't like in somebody else. So,
Right. Yeah.
and there's a multitude of things. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, is perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
because how we looked at things and how we interacted with life 5 years ago is not what we do now. And 5 years from now, it won't be what we do today. You know what I'm saying? Because we're ever evolving, upgrading, as I like to say, because I'm never going to change. I'm just going to upgrade who I am.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's it. It's just maintaining who you are. You know what I'm saying? Not be like, well, I'm not good enough and shit like that. But it's like, at the same time, it's very hard in the moment.
Yeah.
That's why it's fucking detrimental to have people be like, oh, well, I'm going to remind you what you've said and I've told you and what I know about yourself, blah, 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 blah. And it's just that positive reinforcement, So,
Yep.
all right, now I'm up again. Jinkies.
Jinkies.
That's why Enzo's like my go-to, seriously. Enzo's like my bestie here.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
he keeps me grounded when I'm going insane and I'm manic and I'm pissed off and I'm just like going
Scoot your boot.
crazy. I think of Enzo and what
Scoot your
Enzo
boot.
would say. So he's my go-to. I love him. And he might need to reach out to Jimmy after this meeting because I feel like he might have had more coffee without me knowing.
I swear,
thank you,
swear on my
Cassie.
hatchet, that's not true. It's because of the couch. I think it like woke up like the inner coffee demon that was already there, like the caffeine.
It's like it just lodged.
That's okay. You drink coffee and I have a Red Bull because PD left his Red Bull. He took like 2 sips of it and gave me permission to drink it. And I'm not supposed to drink the whole Red Bull because I'll bounce off the walls, but I'm also grounded to my apartment, so I'm gonna clean the whole thing.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna
Fuck
say
yeah.
any better. And I'll just add this one thing. We're gonna change it from
Like, it's not the full.
what
you're
would
good.
Enzo do? I'm gonna change it to what would Enzo do?
What would it? Yeah, WWED. What would Enzo do? And the other thing, like, you guys maybe think about this was, getting all this shit like with job. So I've had this like weird job like experience looking for jobs, and every time I got turned down, it was really hard not to take it personal, like, and get into my own head about it or whatever. But like one of the sayings that I keep telling myself that's helped me out a lot the last like little while is that everything that happens is meant for me, and it's not like happening to me. It's not happening to me, and it's not like personal. it's happening for me. Like, so I applied for this job. They turned me down because if I would have gotten it, I would have done both jobs and would have had to figure out like the holidays and days off and all this bullshit. It would have just complicated things. So like the way I look at it is they probably hired somebody internal. So it's not like this personal, like, I sucked. They put me through to like the final interviews. Like it was just this other person got it. It was meant to happen for them. Um, my job is like put this carrot out there that I might, get a promotion in the future. I applied for it and they said, well, we got to wait for approval before you can get it. So I have to wait some more. And I'm like, well, damn, like I can't even like move ahead in my current job that I'm really good at. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? But it's meant to happen for me. Whatever is happening is happening for me and not to me. And it's not personal. Like, I think a lot of the times, us addicts, we take a lot of things very personally. Um, and we just got to know it's not, you know, 99.9% of the time, whatever's happening, it's happening for you and it's not personal. I don't know if that helps anybody, but definitely been helping me out to tell myself that when shit comes up because it's real hard not to take it personal.
You're gonna get what's coming for you though, Nate, because I was looking for something for like over a month, and in my case, nothing was really being paid, so I'm like in debt bad now, and like a lot of negative shit's happening here. And I felt the same way because of my tattoos or the way that I presented myself at interviews. I took it personal myself because I felt like, but I felt cocky. I felt like I'm overqualified and like I'm too good for you people. So how can you even deny me? And it just made me feel like shit. But I ended up getting something that was way more than what I expected. So I think in time you're going to find something and it's going to be like the same kind of thing. All of those shut doors are going to be a blessing for you because you're going to end up with something that's fucking awesome.
Right. And that was meant
That's
to
the way you
be.
got to look at it.
Right. And that, like, it was meant to be when it's meant to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like who wants to work two jobs around the holidays and then you don't have that time with your family and then you're going crazy mentally because you have to bounce from job to job and that's not how it's supposed to be. So it's going to come to you and it's going to be more than what you imagined it would be. I know
Absolutely.
it will.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad to hear it because I don't think we've been on a meeting in a while together. I'm glad you found something. That's awesome.
Yeah, and they're paying me very nicely because I said I was wanting to get paid very nicely. And they turned me down once and then they called me back and they agreed to the terms that I set. And
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't think that it was going to happen because I was being kind of bitchy to them. But at the end of the day, they ended up agreeing to the terms that I set. And I'm in the office for until Friday, but then I'm working fully remote from home. So
Damn, that's
it's
awesome. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
and it's more than what I thought. It's not I was applying for everything. I know me and you were talking about like all the applications that we're putting in every day and just not getting any bites and it's just frustrating. And then you get an interview and it feels like they shit on you and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But then that interview is going to come where you're going to be like, holy shit, I didn't even ask for this, but they're giving me even more than what I asked for and they're appreciating me more. And I've only been there for like a week and a half, and they've done more for me in that time than my job of 7 years ever did in that entire 7 years.
Damn,
So I'm
that's
happy
dope.
that I didn't just grab the first thing that I could have grabbed. I waited, and I'm happy that it happened. And I think that's how it's going to be for you. You're not meant to work two jobs and be mentally go crazy because you don't have time for yourself or you don't have time to think. So be
You know,
patient. Like Dee told me, it comes when you least expect it, and he was totally right.
hell yeah. Right on. Well, congratulations. And yeah, thank you. I'm gonna, like I said, just keep it positive and it's not personal. It's what it is. And, that's like the metaphor for life though, because like, like I said, 99% of the time it's not even personal, you know? Yeah, hell yeah.
Keep it positive and keep it scrubbing.
Keep it
Motherfucker.
scrub, motherfuckers. Oh yeah. All right,
Maybe
y'all.
host your
Oh,
meeting next week or New Year's Day.
I plan on next week. I do, yeah, both days. I'm gonna do like a little holiday thing. So yeah,
Dope. Fuck yeah. That's how I want to spend my holidays.
yeah, fucking A, we'll be here then. So if you guys want, yeah, looks like the next 2 Wednesdays are Christmas and New Year's Day, which I'm totally cool with. So
Sweet. And don't forget your glasses.
don't forget your glasses. Where's my glasses?
I won't lose my goddamn glasses, damn it all.
I've heard that one before, Josie.
Right.
Yup, and you'll probably hear it a
There we-
million more times too.
And here we are with you. Still, you lost them though. You just said, oh, you found them under snow pants though, right?
Yeah, they were under my snow pants inside my house, even though I told everyone I wanted to go to the river because I dropped them there, and they all said, no, they're inside your apartment somewhere. And I think it's just I wanted to go ice skating with my skate shoes where it was not safe to walk.
Why would you put your glasses under your snow pants? Is my question.
Uh, that's That's the mystery. I think someone hid them on me. I don't know unless they were in the pocket of the snow pants and I took the snow pants off and didn't take them out of my pocket. I don't know. That's the mystery how they got there.
Blame the blind guy. See. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's not on. I
I
can't.
will. No, he finds everything in my apartment besides from things that like cords. That's now my new enemy. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to use my Switch or anything that has a cord so he doesn't run into it, or how not to remember where there's curbs because
I can't
I
imagine being blind. Like,
yeah
real. He's not on here anymore. I wish he was. I'd ask him a lot of questions, but um, yeah, I can't imagine what that's like. I'm sure, just like everything else, you just get used to it, obviously, but like tripping over
yeah, but
stuff
there's
and
sometimes like he freaks out and is like, I
What do
don't
you
know
do
where
for
I am.
what do you do for entertainment? You can't watch anything or play a video game or fucking.
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got questions.
No, yes he can. That's the thing.
You're
Yes he
really into
can.
podcasts.
He can play Mortal Kombat. I played Mortal Kombat with him, but then I started like feeling weird, so I had to stop playing. But he was beating me. He can play Mortal Kombat. He's like obsessed with listening to music. He actually can freestyle. Like he
Nice.
entertains himself that way. Like that's what I've been
Mhm.
actually having to work with him on because someone's trying to help him make music, but he can't read what's been wrote. So now I have to spend time with him to read it
Yeah.
so he can practice it. But then when I tried to help him with that today because he didn't have the beat, he was like, I can't do it because I'm getting lost on the words because he knows the words, but without something behind it, he can't remember. Like even when he's been trying to figure out what door it is to my apartment, he counts the steps and then counts like the doors and everything. It's really weird. It's all like half of it's to music.
Huh. That's incredible. Uh, yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, there's ways to like even like scroll on Facebook when you're blind. They have like blind like a reader type thing that'll read the post to you and
No,
stuff.
don't
Yeah.
remind me. He doesn't remember his email or something to his Facebook, and I have to help figure out how to get his Facebook back for him. That's the other big thing he's asked help with, and I've been like, yep, we have to make time for that. But there's been a million other things that he ends up wanting to do instead of Facebook, which is kind of a good thing because Facebook is too much drama
Yeah.
in
Yeah, I gave
general,
up on
or at
Facebook a
least for
while back.
him.
Yeah, my Facebook got all fucked up and removed a bunch of people, and I'm on there still. It's just I don't even know. Like,
The hell are you guys doing?
all right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. If you want to be here next Wednesday, it's Christmas Day, and then the following New Year's Day. If you're here, that's awesome. I will be here to hold it down for us people that need it. But other than that, I'm not going to call it a night. But I love y'all.